Hey everybody, I'm Jack Hammer. Hope you're all having a great Sunday morning. Wanted to jump on and give you my 5 keys to victory for the 49ers this week against the Chicago Bears. Let's start off first of all with the active players for today. The inactives are going to be defensive lineman D Ford. He's been slow this week with a concussion. He's out for today, as well as Aaron Banks, Aziz Al-Shair, the linebacker, also been dealing with a head injury, a concussion that was sustained last week as well, just like D Ford. Defensive lineman Maurice Hurst. The rookie cornerbacks are out again for the second week in a row. Cornerback Diamador Lenore and Ambry Thomas, as well as wide receiver Travis Benjamin. Those are your inactives for today. Let's get on to this game. 49ers need a big win this week in Chicago against the Bears if they're going to be able to keep their playoff hopes alive for 2021. The Bears are looking to come off a 2-game losing streak of their own. The 49ers are riding a 4-game losing streak into this game. And so it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out, especially with Chicago being without its best pass rusher in Khalil Mack. Going back to that list of inactives, one of the names that you might not have noticed was left tackle Trent Williams. Williams missed the game last week against Indianapolis, and he's going to be active today. So that's a big boost for the 49ers offense, and hopefully it'll help the running game go. And it's definitely going to help what I think is the first key for the game today, which is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo grew up in Chicago, nearby town of Arlington Heights. He made his first career start as a 49er at Soldier Field. Is he going to be able to, will this be his final 49ers start as well, coming in the same place? It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. Garoppolo in that first start in 2017, if you remember, was really good. 26 of 37, 293 yards. He did have an interception, but the 49ers were able to pull out a 15-14 victory, which was only their second win of the 2017 season that year. So the signal caller, he's going to be the one that's going to have to get this thing going for the 49ers. He's struggled a little bit over the last couple of weeks. We know that he missed the game against Arizona, but the last 2 games that he played, the first half in against Seattle, last week against Indianapolis and in the rain, were 2 of his worst games of the season. So he's definitely going to have to be able to step up today in Chicago if the 49ers are going to have any chance of winning. As I mentioned earlier, a loss on Sunday is going to pretty much eliminate the 49ers from the playoff contention, and I think that's going to make Garoppolo's time as the starting quarterback of the 49ers come to an end. Number 2, can the 49ers manage to play a clean game? One of the biggest reasons the 49ers are 2-4 so far on the season is their inability just to play a clean game, meaning fumbles, turnovers of any type, and penalties. San Francisco leads the NFL coming into this game in penalty yards per game with an average of 80.8. That number is primarily driven by pass interference penalties, of which the 49ers lead the NFL in that as well with 11. Through the first 6 games, the 49ers have given up an average of 41.7 yards per game on just pass interference penalties. If that wasn't bad enough, 6 of those pass interference calls have come on 3rd down and extended drives that led to touchdowns 5 times. So 11 pass interference penalties, 6 give the opposing offense a first down on 3rd down, and they lead to touchdowns. Not good. The 49ers defensive backs worked on specific drills this week during practices to try and fix the problem. We'll find out when the game starts here today. Penalties have been a big problem. Turnovers have been a killer for the 49ers as well. San Francisco has committed 10 turnovers on the season, 4th most in the NFL, but 8 of those have come during this current 4-game losing streak. If the 49ers continue to turn the ball over like they've done so far, I don't think it really matters if Khalil Mack's on the field or not. The 49ers won't beat the Chicago Bears today. Number 3, can the 49ers take advantage of Justin Fields? Speaking of turnovers, while the offense has struggled to hold onto the ball, the 49ers defense has struggled to take the ball away. And today, the 49ers defense is going to be playing against a quarterback that's a rookie who's had a lot of trouble with turnovers since his time began starting 5 weeks ago. Fields may be just what the doctor ordered here for the 49ers. The rookie has thrown 6 interceptions and fumbled the ball another 6 times, losing 2 of them. Fields' issues this season haven't been limited to just turnovers. Fields has also been sacked 20 times in his 5 starts. This could lead to a big day for Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead and the rest of the 49ers defense. D4, though, as we mentioned, is going to be out. That means that Jordan Willis will be activated for the first time this year after missing the start of the season due to a suspension for performance-enhancing drugs. Wilson had a strong training camp in preseason, and it'll be interesting to see how he steps into the starting lineup for the first time. Probably won't be the starting lineup, but into the lineup for the first time this year. Next up, the running game. Can the 49ers get that running game going? And once they get it going, can they keep it going? The 49ers have struggled all season to get the running game on track. And even when it looks like they haven't figured out early in games, it'll suddenly just kind of disappear. The loss on Sunday to Indianapolis was just another example of this. On San Francisco's first 7 rushing attempts of the game, they gained 72 yards. Came out, big pops over and over again. They would gain only 39 yards on their next 17 attempts for the rest of the game. So 72 yards on the first series, plus the first play of the second series. After that, only 39 yards. For the 49ers to have any chance to defeat Chicago, they need to get the ball out of Garoppolo's hands a little bit, help him out with a running game that allows him to come off of that with play action. And the Bears defense is allowing 4.4 yards per carry this year. So the 49ers the 49ers don't have enough weapons in the passing game alone for it to carry the team. So they definitely need to get that run game going, help to milk the clock, help keep the defense off the field as much as possible, and just drive the ball down the field and get some points on the board. And last but not least, number 5, can the San Francisco stop the Bears running game? Well, the 49ers offense doesn't have to worry about Khalil Mack. The 49ers defense will have its own Khalil to worry about. Rookie Khalil Herbert has been impressive over the last 3 weeks. That's really when he kind of first started getting carries, was about 3 weeks ago. And during that time, he's averaged 4.9 yards per rushing attempt. The Virginia Tech product was selected in the 6th round of the 2021 draft, same as Elijah Mitchell of the 49ers. And in addition to Herbert, the 49ers defense is going to have its hands full, keeping Justin Fields under wraps as well. We've seen San Francisco face 4 mobile quarterbacks already this year. They struggled a little bit in week 2 against Jalen Hurts. They struggled last week with Carson Wentz, but they've also done a really good job of limiting the cornerbacks in their division, Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. So it's going to be interesting to see which of those defenses shows up today. In the game with against Hurts, those runs didn't really hurt them that bad because, Hurts wasn't a very good thrower of the football that day. And so the 49ers were able to maintain it and really kind of control that Philadelphia offense. Last week with Wentz, it was a little bit different story. He was hitting just enough throws to keep the San Francisco defense on its heels. And then he had a couple of nice scrambles to extend drives, and as well as a 1-yard read option for a touchdown. So the 49ers defense definitely is going to have its hands full, I think, this week with the run game. They need to keep that thing on track. On their side, on the defensive side, they need to be able to shut it down. Those are the keys. So Garoppolo has to have a good game today. He needs to get himself out of the funk that he's been in the last couple of weeks. Eliminate the penalties and the turnovers. Take advantage of the rookie quarterback for the Bears. Get your run game going and stop the run game. If the 49ers can do that, I think they have a chance to come out on top. My prediction for today is 49ers 23, Bears 15. The thought there is basically the 49ers have been averaging right around that number for the last 4 or 5 games. And so same with the Bears. So don't see a whole lot changing this week, especially with the players that we have as far as the actives and inactives. And I think it's going to be a good game for the 49ers if they can win today. It's definitely a get healthy kind of game for their playoff chances, because when you look at the teams that are ahead of them right now in the NFC playoff race, one of them is Chicago. A win today puts them ahead of Chicago. Carolina is going to be playing against Atlanta, so one of those teams is going to lose. So a win today puts them into, I think, the 8th spot for the NFC playoff race for that last spot in the playoffs. Matt asks, is Kittle playing today? No, Kittle's not playing. He's still on injured reserve. I think this is his last week there. The hope is that he's going to be able to be back next week for Arizona, that he's going to be healthy enough to be able to rejoin the team next week. That's the goal. Other than that, don't really see a whole lot of questions, but just want to jump on a little early today. Actually, it's a little bit later than I usually do the pregame show, but with the early start time, just come on, get you guys fired up and get you ready for the game, let you know what I think the keys are. And please follow along. I have a live blog going, so I'll be providing analysis throughout the game over at 49ers.pressdemocrat.com. You can find all of my analysis live as the game's going on over there, or you can also check out my Twitter handle. So those are my two for today. Is Trent Williams playing? Yes, Trent Williams is playing. He is active today, so no Jalen Moore at left tackle for the 49ers. So enjoy your game today, everybody. I will be back after with a review of the game and give you my thoughts on how it transpired. But like I said, for live updates throughout the game, check out 49ers.pressdemocrat.com. We'll have a live blog going there throughout the day. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed what you're seeing here, please like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate you all very much for joining in, and have a great morning and enjoy the game.